Hey everybody, I think it's about time to do an update video on how to buy property in Bulgaria. I've made a few of these before and I'm going to link them in the comments down below, but as a lot of you know, things change regularly, and especially for UK citizens, and this is what this video is going to be mainly about, because that's where the majority of our questions are coming from on the subject at the moment. But yeah, we've got a lot of people in the comments and on our videos and on Facebook and all over the place asking, one, how can I buy property in Bulgaria now after Brexit? And two, how can I live there full time as we do? Is that still possible? And yeah, I think I'm just going to talk you through some of that. I feel like I should be making maybe a little bit more effort, as some of the last videos on this subject are, I think, some of the most popular videos on our channel, but I am just out walking around, as you can see, and that's what I'm doing. So today we're going to be talking about how to buy regulated property in Bulgaria. We're not going to go into agricultural land, we're not going to go into forestry land, anything like that. How you can buy regulated property in Bulgaria. If you are a UK citizen and you're looking to buy here, one of the easiest routes that I would say to go down first of all is to just check your family tree and see if you have ancestry in the EU. For instance, my grandmother was Polish. She was born in a part of Poland that's actually now the Ukraine. Because of that, I could potentially get a Polish passport, and if I had a Polish passport, that would make things a lot easier if I wanted to move to Bulgaria now. Luckily, I did this many years ago while the UK was still part of the European Union, and it made things a lot easier for me. But we have friends and customers who have Irish relatives and they're getting Irish passports, or they have Polish, or anywhere around Europe they have European EU relatives and they can get an EU passport off the back of that. If that's possible for you, I'm going to say first of all that is a really easy way to make this happen. As an EU citizen, it's really easy. You buy a property over here just like a Bulgarian citizen would. You meet in front of the notary and you sign, everything's in your name, done and dusted very, very quickly, and you can apply for residency here once you have an address, you have a passport, you have a bank account, you have health insurance, and that's all you need. You can apply for your Bulgarian residency. I'm going to put a bit of a sort of disclaimer in here where I'm going to say that everything I'm talking about is to the best of my knowledge at the time of filming, and also with regards to the region where I live, which is the Haskovo region. There's a lot of debates you see online and people have different experiences, and that's just Bulgaria. It varies day to day who you get in the office that day. It varies wildly from region to region, it seems. And yeah, we've got a great legal team here, and I'm just going to explain things to the best of my knowledge, how it is right now at the time of filming down here in this region where I reside. So as a non-EU citizen, the way that you're going to have to do things now is register a limited company here in Bulgaria. You will be the owner of that company, and that company will be the owner of the property. The problem that we're having right now is that in order to open a company you have to register a Bulgarian company bank account, and the banks recently changed the rules, at least they did around here, and they're not letting anyone without Bulgarian residency open a company bank account. The way that we're getting around this right now is that you need to use a solicitor to open this company for you, open this company bank account for you, and when that all comes back as approved, you can then buy that. That company. It doesn't have to be a solicitor. I suppose it could just be a Bulgarian person could do this, but you need to use someone that you trust. We have an amazing legal team that we use for all this sort of stuff, and we do it regularly, and it's never had a problem. You're going to sit down in front of a notary first of all, and you're going to buy a company. That takes a couple of days to clear. Once that's come back and all the paperwork's ready and you are the owner of a limited company in Bulgaria, then you can buy a house, and it's the same process. You meet back in front of the notary a few days later, and you are signing on behalf of the company as an owner of that company, but it will be your company that owns the house and you own that company. Most people don't wish to carry on trading with that company once the house sale's gone through. So most people, you'll see, just close that company down. The market is a dormant, non-trading company. You still have to file tax returns for a couple of years to show that you're not trading. But yeah, that can just then sit there, and it's pretty straightforward. So buying a house is not particularly difficult. It's slightly more expensive than it used to be for non-EU citizens. Right now, that whole process is costing around 1,000 levs. I think more recently it's been coming out slightly higher because the banks have been increasing their prices, and it can really vary from solicitor to solicitor, and it can really vary from bank to bank, who you use, what kind of prices you get. But for us at the moment, it's costing around, just say around £500 then, because we're talking again largely talking about UK citizens at the time, and if you budgeted £500, it should cover everything. So the next thing is, how can you live here for more than 90 days at a time as a non-EU citizen? As an EU citizen with residency, like I said, you can stay here for 5 years, or as long as they give you residency for, and as long as you keep renewing that before it runs out, you shouldn't have a problem staying here as long as you like. As a non-EU citizen without residency, you can only stay here for 90 days at a time, and then you have to leave the country for 90 days. And there are people living here like that, and they're very happy to go back, work for 90 days elsewhere, come back and enjoy 3 months in Bulgaria and just keep doing that. Plenty of people very happy to keep doing that at the moment, but if you want to, like us, live here full time, what you're going to have to do now is apply for a D visa with the Bulgarian embassy in London. So what do you need to get this D visa? Well, first of all, you're going to have to come to Bulgaria. You're going to have to, well, you don't have to, but I'm going to say the best thing to do is to buy a property first. You need to show that you have an address here where you're residing, and what you're going to have to do is have a notarized letter from your company. Even though you own your company, you're going to have to show that your company gives you permission to live at the address that you have purchased with that company, and that you pay the bills there, and that this is where you reside, and that you have proof, notarized proof of an address here in Bulgaria. You're also going to have to take with you notarized company documents. You're going to have to take health insurance with you to show that you have health insurance over here. You're going to have to show proof of earnings. So one of the main problems that people are having is showing that they have enough money to support themselves here in the country to get this visa, or at least that's what's being reported. In my opinion, very few people are actually trying this. People are just very happy to shout online that you're never going to get it and that you can't get it. The reality is that very few people are trying, and in my experience, the people that are trying and that are going to the Bulgarian embassy in London with the correct documents are getting D visas. So you need to take the house documents, the company documents, your health insurance, and you have to show that you have enough money to support yourself in Bulgaria. Now, if you have a pension, it's pretty much a golden ticket to get that D visa. They're just going to give it to you. It's no problem at all. If you don't have a pension, you need to have a significant amount of money in your account to show that you can support yourself for the 6 months that you're applying to stay here for, or the 12 months that you're applying to stay here for. So once you get that D visa from the embassy, you can come over here, and again, with pretty much all those same documents, you're going to go to the immigration office with our solicitor, and she's going to fill out all the forms for you, and you're going to apply for 5 years residency in Bulgaria. And it's just back to normal again. Once you get that, as long as you renew it every 5 years, you should be fine. You have to spend most of your time here. You're not going to get, they'll take the residency away if you just apply for it and then you don't use it. They want you to be living here, spending your time, spending your money in the country. And there are other ways that you can get a D visa without having to show proof of earnings and have a significant amount of money in your bank account. There are a few other ways you can do it. As I said, first option for me would be to check if you've got any parents or grandparents with an EU passport, and if you can try and apply for a passport in that country. That is the first thing I would personally recommend. After that, the next thing I would do is I would look for a job here. There's plenty of work on the Black Sea. You can get a job in a hotel, in a casino, in a bar, somewhere, whatever you specialise in. If you can just look online and see if someone will employ you. That's enough for you to get this visa. There are a few rules around that where I think the employer has to show that they've looked to try and employ a Bulgarian citizen, and they've tried for something like 3 months and they couldn't do that, and that's why they're now employing you. But that's a pretty easy route to go down, and there are plenty of young English people who can get jobs here in Bulgaria. And once you get that, again, you don't have to even stick at that job. You can just get that visa and get your residency applied for, and once you've got it, you're kind of free, you know. You can live here and do what you originally planned. Another way is for your company to employ 10 people, I think it is. I think for a minimum of 6 months. So if you're coming over here and you're looking to set up a business, or you're just undertaking a huge renovation project, you can employ, I think, 10 Bulgarian citizens for a minimum of 6 months. If you can prove that at the embassy during your application, then they're going to give you a D visa. So I hope that helps. That's the process. Come over here, register a company, buy a house, and go back to the UK, go to the Bulgarian embassy, apply for a D visa, come back over here, and before that visa expires, apply for your residency. And there's no reason why you shouldn't get your residency here if you tick all those boxes. And yeah, you can live freely out here like we do in this beautiful country, surrounded by beautiful nature, rivers and big trees. And I think I'm going to continue up into the hills now and go and see if there's any field mushrooms. My dad was up there this morning and he's picked a load of field mushrooms. I'm going to see if he's left any for me. I hope this video has helped. Do leave some comments down below if you've got any questions. If there's anything I missed out, I can try and address that in the comments. You know, the biggest thing that holds most people back is just like it's all in the mind. people don't believe they can do it, and you've just got to try. If you come into it with that attitude, then you're probably not going to succeed. You've really got to want it, and you've really got to try. And it is complicated, and it's not a nice process of setting up. You know, you've got to go through quite a lot to get here. But it's only a few months, this whole process of coming over here, buying a house, applying for your visa, getting your residency, you know, changing all the utility bills over, setting up insurance, all this kind of stuff. I hate doing that kind of stuff personally, and I hate even talking about it. It's just boring. But once you've done it, and then you're here, and you can just forget about it all for a little while, and you know, you don't have to worry about it too much once you're over here and you've got it all done. So it's just that process. I wish you guys all the best of luck, and I'm really happy to keep helping people do this if I can. Feel free to get in touch via Facebook, via our website. Give me a call. I think all the phone numbers are on there. And make sure you give this video a thumbs up if you've enjoyed it. Subscribe to our channel for more. And as always, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you guys again soon in the next video. I'm just outside here now editing this video, and one more bit of useful information has just come to me that I should have included and I completely forgot to, and I'm going to just add this on the end now because it could really help out somebody. And this is for UK citizens again specifically. I know that if you have visited Bulgaria before Brexit, I think we're counting the 1st of January 2022. If you were here before that in the country, and you can prove that through your passport records, through your hotel stays, through your train tickets, all that kind of thing, you can then argue that you were here to apply for residency, but due to one reason or another you couldn't, say COVID restrictions, or say due to ill health or some sort of unforeseen circumstances. You came here to apply for residency and for one reason or another you couldn't. They are backdating these residency applications for people in those situations, so I just got to add that onto the end. I hope that might help somebody out, and yeah, feel free to ask me some more questions about that in the comments, and I'll answer the best I can. Thanks for watching, everyone.